Hello, welcome back to the Off Grid family. Today I'm going to be trying to fix a charger that I've got. It's 25 years old, maybe a little bit more. It's for like AA batteries, AAAs, 9 volts and stuff like that. It may or may not work at all. All I'm trying to do is fix it so that I can actually get power to it. It's got a very strange connection to the mains, and I don't have that wire anymore. So all I'm going to do is make it so I can connect my benchtop power supply to it, or a 12 volt battery or something like that, and see if it works. As I say, it may not work at all, and if it doesn't, then I've got no idea what's wrong with it, to be honest. But we'll just see what we can do, and if it doesn't work, then it will be a good way of showing how to connect sort of DC voltage things to other power supplies. It may be a rubbish video, who knows, you know, it's one of mine, it probably is. Before I get on, I'd just like to thank my Patreons. You guys are absolutely awesome. I genuinely appreciate everything you've done for the channel over the years. Some of you've been there since the beginning, some of you are new, and either way, I really appreciate it. I appreciate you for watching. If you'd like to join the Patreons, then you can pop down in the description, there's all the links there. Anyway, let's get on. Okay, so I've had this for years and years. I think it might have been my wife's before we got together. So we're talking many moons ago. Anyway, it's 12 volts, 600 milliamps, but I don't have a adapter for it. So I thought, well, I wonder if we can just plug in our trusty power pack and see what happens. So, first thing I'm going to have to do is unscrew it. Now, it comes with the safety screws, you know, the ones that have got like a bit of screw either side, and whenever I've needed to make one of these, I've just sawed down the center of a flat blade screwdriver and done it myself. However, my beautiful wife also bought me this a long time ago, and it actually has all of the safety bits, the safety screws, screwdrivers in it. Okay, so it's all self-contained, and here is the power in. I'm going to solder to the negative and the positive. Right, so we know which one's which on this. We're going to test the contacts, and we're going to work out what's what, and then we're going to just solder directly to it. Okay, when dealing with 12 volts or DC voltage, I should say, the outer edge is normally the negative, and that little pin is normally positive. Always make sure and check, but what I'm going to do is get this on continuity. Okay, so I'm just going to check, and I think I know where the actual positive and negatives are because I've used a lot of these types of sockets before. But yeah, in my case, the middle connects to the back here. Okay, using the continuity checker on my multimeter, I've found that this is the positive, and I put a little red dot next to it, and either one of these is negative. If you're ever unsure, the middle pole of the actual socket is always positive. Easiest way to remember. Right, I've tinned some wires, and I'm just going to connect them to the correct colours. So obviously red to red, black to black. Right, I had quite a bit of an issue with the negative, and I've skipped it. I'm not going to go through all that, plus, you know, an extra 10 minutes of footage that you don't need to see. But for some reason, this is very, very cheap 12 volt wire, and sometimes it just becomes, you know, the Leidenfrost effect happens, and I just can't get any solder to actually adhere to the wire. I'm wondering if there's some sort of grease or something in the wire itself, because I'll cut a few inches off, try it again, and it'll be fine. Just every so often, I stopped using it for years because I it was causing me so much grief. But I've got none of the other stuff left, so I'm having to. So such is life. Right, next I'm going to check the continuity just to make sure it's all still wired up correctly, etc. And then we can go on to the next bit. Perfect. I will hot glue over this soon, but I'll do that all at the end. Hot glue tends to get absolutely everywhere. If, for example, if this comes off after I've hot glued it, then it's going to be a nightmare because it gets all in the wires and it gets on the contacts and it can be an absolute pain. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to screw 2 holes here and here, and what we're going to do is we're going to be placing some nuts and bolts into it, and these are going to be our poles to connect the positive and negative when we're wanting to actually use this. Right, I've got to be super careful here not to go all the way through and destroy the circuitry, otherwise there was no point doing any of this. Oh, that was close. Right. Okay, there's our holes. First thing we need to do is poke these wires up through the holes. Now that that's out there, I'm going to place the screws in, and I'm going to screw it down a little bit, and then I'm going to wrap the wire around. I will try and show you what I mean. I'm going to wrap the wire around, and I'm going to screw these in tight. And then, in a second, I'm going to put a bolt on the other side, a nut on the other side. God, I'm losing my marbles. There you go. I may not need to put another nut on, that is solid in there. We'll see if I need to for the negative. Perfect. Okay, so there we have our makeshift negative and positive. Before we go any further, you don't want to forget that. All that's left to do is put it back together. Somewhere along the line I've lost a screw, but I'm sure I'll find it later when I clear my desk. Okay, there it is, and let's test it because this hasn't been used in about 20 years and it may not work at all. Okay, I've got my benchtop power pack here. I've hardly used it, to be honest, and I've put it to 11 volts. Yeah, 11 volts. I just want to see how far off we are, if at all. See if anything happens. It could just explode, I don't know, so I better put this in the light actually, that'd be cool. Nine volts, and we got nothing here at all. So let's see if anything happens. Oh, not even the door opens anymore. Let's see what happens if we put a battery in. And still nothing. I was a bit concerned that this might be broken, to be honest with you, but it was worth having a bit of fun with. Okay, it was a fail, but it was worth having a go. You know, if it had worked, it would have meant I could have fixed a lot of Crystal's garden ornament light things. But we'll have to come up with a different plan. Okay, so it didn't work, and it was sort of a bit of a wasted journey. But I left it, and I did the video, and I edited it and everything, because I thought that it might just be quite useful to show how you can sort of connect different power supplies to different things. Don't be doing this with mains voltage, as in AC, unless you know what you're doing. I don't. And yeah, just, you know, it was just a test to see if I could get 12 volts through it and if it would still work. It would have been very useful, but it doesn't, so I will have to make my own, I think. Anyway, thanks to my Patreons for all of the support, and thank you to you for watching. As I say, the links are in the description if you're interested in becoming a Patreon, but don't do it unless you can afford it. But anyway, thank you so much. I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.